Ever feel like you're drowning? Like every day is a frantic race against a clock that's relentlessly speeding up. I remember those days. 3 years ago, launching this channel alongside a demanding tech job, it was paralyzing. Each morning, a knot of anxiety tightened in my chest, a certainty that I simply couldn't fit everything into those 16 waking hours. It felt impossible. But something shifted. I started experimenting, discovering small changes that unlocked a surprising amount of freedom. And what I learned wasn't about doing more. It was about doing things differently. Today, I want to share 8 principles, 8 shifts in perspective that didn't just help me get things done, they helped me reclaim my time and my peace of mind. Let's start with the idea of a God's eye view. It sounds a little lofty, doesn't it? But think about it. If you're trying to understand your finances, you don't just look at yesterday's coffee purchase. You look at the month, the quarter, the year. A budget tracker isn't just about numbers, it's about seeing the bigger picture. It's about recognizing patterns, spotting potential problems before they explode. I have a single browser bookmark folder, my financial dashboard. One click, and I see everything. Income, expenses, net worth, a clear, concise snapshot. The same principle applies to everything. At work, at my side hustle, I have dashboards, spreadsheets, all linked and updated automatically. A weekly review is all it takes. If something's off, I know exactly where to focus. So, invest a little time up front to build that overarching view. It's like building a map before a journey. You'll save countless hours wandering aimlessly later on. Think about your own goals. Trying to get healthier. Your God's eye view might be the data in your fitness tracker. Consistent review, consistent adjustment. It's about seeing the forest, not just the trees. Next, let's talk about checklists. Simple, almost embarrassingly so, right? But consider this: pilots, surgeons, CEOs, the people operating at the highest levels of performance rely on them. Why? Because checklists aren't about telling experts what to do. They're about ensuring they don't forget to do anything. Adol Gawand, in his book The Checklist Manifesto, demonstrates this beautifully. And it's true. There's a checklist for almost anything. For me, it started with my morning routine. I use a tool called Notion, and each day it generates 6 non-negotiable tasks. These aren't grand ambitions. They're the fundamental building blocks for a successful day. And I stick to them. I even reply to comments on videos, even the old ones, before I move on to other tasks. It might seem small, but it's a commitment to my audience, to you. At work, I have a Monday morning routine with a checklist. Confirm meetings, review projects, write my weekly update. And every single video I upload, this is number 145, has a checklist behind it. Consistency. Quality. It's all there. If you're skeptical, start small. Planning a trip. Create a packing checklist. It eliminates the stress, the last-minute scrambling, the inevitable realization that you've left something crucial behind. Now let's address a popular productivity hack, the McDonald's habit. You've probably heard of it. Utilize every spare moment. If you're waiting for 7 minutes at McDonald's, use it to get some work done. It's a compelling idea, popularized by Ali Abdaal and Matthew Dicks. But here's a critical nuance. According to neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, Most of us need a 2-5 minute transition period between tasks to maintain optimal performance. Jumping straight from a casual chat to a high-stakes presentation. It's a recipe for disaster. My anti-McDonald's habit is about discerning between deep work, tasks requiring intense focus, and shallow work, tasks like email or messaging. If I have a 5-minute gap between meetings, I'll tackle emails. It doesn't matter if I get distracted. But I wouldn't attempt a complex strategy presentation. It's about respecting your cognitive limitations. Speaking of email, the Inbox Zero workflow changed my life. It's the gold standard, popularized by Jake Knapp. The process is simple. Start with the oldest email and work your way up. 2 minutes or less to resolve. Do it immediately. More than 2 minutes. Add a follow-up label. Delegate it to someone else. Add a waiting label. Reference material. Reference label. Everything else. Archive it. It clears the clutter, prevents important tasks from slipping through the cracks, and brings a sense of calm to what is often a chaotic experience. I've made tutorials on how to implement this in both Gmail and Outlook. I'll link those below. Let's move on to the Atomic 80-20 rule. You've likely seen countless articles championing elaborate morning routines. Wake up at 6 a.m., work out, meditate, journal. It's exhausting just thinking about it. What I've discovered is that the 80-20 rule, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Combined with the principles of atomic habits, small changes, consistently applied, lead to massive impact. I limit my morning routine to 45 minutes, time blocked in my calendar. Then I experiment with a combination of habits I can actually stick to. For me, that's a 10-minute stretch, a simple skincare routine, reviewing quotes and vocabulary I've saved on Readwise, and planning my day in Notion. Don't chase the perfect routine. Find the 20% that makes the biggest difference and make it a habit. I apply this to tools as well. Instead of subscribing to 10 AI newsletters and getting overwhelmed, I focus on one high-quality source. Consistency trumps complexity. Then there's the power of prompt engineering. ChatGPT and Google Bard are incredible tools, but they can also be incredibly frustrating if you don't know how to use them effectively. Imagine this. I tell you Bard can book flights, find hotels, search YouTube, access your Google Docs. That's impressive but overwhelming. Now imagine I tell you, type Gmail and ask Bard to summarize all your unread emails every morning. Which scenario are you more likely to act on? The second. It's specific, relevant, and immediately useful. Stop scrolling through endless lists of 100 ChatGPT prompts and focus on solving your own problems. Identify 1 to 3 repetitive tasks that eat up your time. Then, either adapt an existing prompt from a resource like GitHub's prompts library or learn how to craft your own. Save your best prompts in a database and reuse them. At work, I use prompts to write weekly updates, interpret financial reports, and prepare for meetings. For my YouTube videos, I use a prompt to transform scripts into blog posts. A game changer. And for my personal life, well, let's just say Bard helps me with cooking recipes. Let's talk about recovery. Many of you may not know this, but growing up in Hong Kong instilled in me a love for going out with friends, even and perhaps especially productively. Now that I'm over 30, hangovers are a real issue. So if I know I'm going out on a Friday night, I proactively block off the following day for recovery. It's a simple preventative measure. The same applies to travel. I block off time for commuting and jet lag recovery. I never overcommit on travel days. It's about anticipating the inevitable ebb and flow of energy and building in time for restoration. Finally, we arrive at the fundamental principle of capture and organize. It happens all the time. I'm commuting home. An idea for a new video pops into my head. Then an email from my boss, a coffee chat request from a colleague. Instead of trying to juggle all of that in my head and inevitably forgetting something, I immediately capture it all in my to-do app. Then when I'm back home and at my laptop, I organize those tasks. The video idea goes into my Notion database. The email gets processed using the Inbox Zero workflow. The coffee chat gets scheduled in my calendar. This is a deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful technique. It's like having a reliable external brain. If you want to dive deeper into this workflow, I've linked a detailed explanation below. These 8 principles aren't about rigid rules or restrictive schedules. They're about mindful intention, strategic simplicity, and respecting your own limits. They're about shifting your perspective from reacting to the chaos to proactively shaping your time. It's not about squeezing more into your day. It's about creating space for what truly matters. Remember that feeling of being overwhelmed, of drowning in tasks. It's not inevitable. You have the power to reclaim your time, to find your focus, and to build a life that feels both productive and fulfilling. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Start with one small change, one simple habit. And trust the process. Because when you manage your time, you're not just managing your schedule. You're managing your life. And that's a power worth cultivating.